She said, do you miss me? That's the moon, my nigga. She said, that's not it. She liked it and I liked it too. She don't know what to do. That's the noise from the car coming. You know what I mean? We point to everything. You feel me? Everything that is a visual or a sound. You feel me? These are things that I am aware of in my surrounding right now. So I can see the moon in the sky. Excuse me, tree. See the tree itself too. The moon in the sky hiding behind the tree. Am I tripping? Yeah, hold on. We're gonna move to the set because you know that shit bugged out. Niggas, big ass sky and one tree is blocking the moon. That's amazing in itself. That's a whole topic. You see the stars, the moon, the car passing by. You hear the noise of the water. Feel me? This is mute. This is like a music. And I'm in it and I'm dancing. It's a musical movie. You feel me? Everything is set nicely. What the fuck? They open at this time? See, some other store caught my attention. You feel me? Birds tripping at this time of the night, flying above. You know what I mean? It's a little very noisy out here today. Usually this shit is quiet as hell, but today it's kind of a little noisy, man. It's technically morning. Yeah, you know. You control your environment as an individual. You feel me? This is how it happens all the time. It do. As soon as I, when I say I, you should think of yourself too. As soon as I command it, it happens. Feel me? You just gotta know the mechanics of how it works and everything else like that. Then you can get to command your environment to follow what you are doing. And shout out to the people who, you see how I noticed the moon and everything else like that? Some people are noticing, oh, he has the same kind of shirt. Da-da-da, da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, that's a fact. Like, I don't buy nothing new. I don't, man. Only took one suitcase with me. When I came to California, I left all my clothes in New York City. And when I got to California, I decided not to buy nothing when I'm here. Feel me? That was just my decision. I just kept on going with it. And I have not. So I just, I don't repeat shit, but it's like, I wash my clothes every week like a normal person does. And yeah. You feel me? So thanks for being aware of these things. You feel me? I'm kind of shocked. I never even asked them to watch it, but they still watched it and they noticed it. So today we're going to talk about consciousness because it's still a topic. You see, the things that you're aware of is what you're conscious about. You feel me? So the physics try to explain what consciousness is. And they said their explanation and everything else like that. Then you have quantum physics who trying to explain consciousness. Everybody from different field of science is trying to explain what consciousness means to them. You feel me? So it just comes down to so many different avenues or webs or umbrellas to consciousness that we can't get a clear definition of what really it is. Just they have a definition for it. It's an awareness. It's what it's basically it's in the explanation itself. Conscious. What are you conscious of? What gets your attention? What are you aware of? And like the moon in the background as I'm walking, to try to explain consciousness is like a wolf which is conscious of the moon itself and is hollering at the moon. Ooh, but it is conscious of the moon itself because it seems like it has a relationship with the moon for it to have noticed it, for it to do that continuously. Let it pass. This sun, I was thinking maybe this morning or last night. I can't even call it because I work overnight now, so I can't even say last night no more because I'm in the night now. But anyway, so this is what consciousness look like right here itself. This is how when we try to explain consciousness, we are nothing more like a dog or a wolf, right? Having a relationship. That's not an insult, by the way. If you can understand what I'm saying, because I'm including myself. I said we. I ain't say you guys. I said we. That's what I'm including myself. I'm not excluding myself. I'm making myself feel special. You feel me? So we are nothing more than a dog or a wolf looking at the moon and hollering at the moon, having some form of relationship with the moon itself, but yet we can't get to the moon. You feel me? It's like the dog having a relationship with a woman that far out, but yet we can never meet her. You feel me? So that's how it is with consciousness. Us trying to explain what it is to be consciousness. It's like, yo, we just staring into the mist or mist or the cloud of everything else. We just staring into it, and we trying to get to something that we don't even have the technology, the brains, or anything else like that. We seem to need, the dog will need a human to take it to the moon, for it to see the moon up close. And even when it sees it up close, it will realize that, oh shit, this shit was bigger than I thought. Because in his mind, it still can't get the grips of what is going on. It's just looking up in the sky, and it thinks it's a light bulb probably. What it thinks it is not it. And that's what I see when it comes to consciousness. What we think we know of consciousness is not consciousness. You understand? It's just not it. It's just our explanation has to be off a little bit. And maybe it's because we humans and we haven't developed to where we need to be yet. So it's going to take a while for us to get to where we need to get to mental wise. We haven't formed a language for consciousnesses yet. Languages are formed when we get comfortable and we get to talk about it enough where we can take words and form it, then we can make it a language itself. You feel me? Like narcissists. At one point, I was experiencing narcissists and I couldn't form a language. I didn't know what I was experiencing. So I tried to form a language, and as I was trying to form the language to what I was experiencing, this is when I came across narcissists. At first, I didn't even know what the name of it to call it. But I was forming a language along the way to try to explain what I was experiencing. And that's how we got to deal with consciousness. Consciousness, we have to form a language to explain what we are witnessing or experiencing. You feel me? And imagine a dog who's trying to explain a language to what he is witnessing and experiencing. Because we know he feels something. We know he's aware of the moon itself. We know that. We know there's a consciousness of this wolf, or the wolf howling at the moon. Oh, and he's keep hollering at the moon. It's like, yo, this dog is obviously aware of the moon. It sees the moon. It's not barking or growling at the moon. It seems like it's making love to the moon. It's like it's singing to the moon. It's like it's showing affection to the moon. You know what I mean? And that's how I see it when we look at consciousness. We are in love with something that we cannot explain. It's a mystery to us, but yet it's part of who we are. And that's how the moon sees. It seems like the moon has a relationship with the moon. I said the moon has the wolf has a relationship with the moon itself. The way it looks like it connects with it. Yeah, they kind of look alike. They both look kind of grayish, darkish. Feel me? When the light is on, you know. So it relates so much to it. It feels like it's a part of it. But it does not know that the moon is a part of it, technically speaking, but it's also a separate entity of its own. You feel me? But he doesn't know that. He believes that's his wife. He's like, that is my lover. Like, you feel me? The way he just sings to it like it's an opera. Every wolf sings to the moon. And we tend to form a romantic language to try to explain what consciousness is about. But for some strange reason, no matter how smart we are, no matter how crazy we try to make it seem, we still have not found a language or the song or the dance partner to dance with consciousness. We just can't. We just can't get to it. You feel me? So what does a wolf? How do wolves? How do wolves solve this problem of the moon? They holler until they're tired, then they go away. And that's the same thing with consciousness. We will be talking about consciousness for a very, very long time. I'm not even sure if we're going to be able to solve that problem. There's a lot of things that we are not conscious of, but it's still going on. You understand? It's a lot. There's a lot of things that goes on unconsciously that affect us, but we don't have no perspective of it, so it does not affect us directly. But once we get a definition of what it is, we become paranoid of it, and that's when we be like, oh, it is affecting us. You understand? So consciousness is a lot of things, man. I explained it in many, many ways, but it is what it is, man. You feel me? I believe consciousness is like the moon itself. And we are like the wolves. And what does the moon do? It is just a pretty rock that sits in the air, and still the reflection of the sunlight and make it seem like it is the one that is glowing. Is that what the moon does? Is it the one that steals light from the sun, then act as if it is its light and shines in the sky and give us a little bit of light when it's dark outside? Is it the hope that it gives us? What is the moon? Is the moon the one that controls the currencies in our river, pull the water back and forth? Rivers, it basically controls the waves. It's the reason why the water keep rocking back and forth in the ocean. It's the moon. The moon pulls these things. This is what the moon does. The moon has a cycle of controlling the emotions of the earth itself, the water, the currency, and everything else in between. So the moon is a representation of what consciousness is, and we are a representation in the story of between the wolf and the moon, and we are the wolf itself. We have an infascination. Can I even say infascination? We have an obsession in wanting to explain what consciousness is. But consciousness is something that's working on its own. It was here before the wolf, and it was going to be here after the wolf is gone. The wolf looks at it and sings to it. Oh! And we look at consciousness and we try to explain it as something that is part of us. The same way we do it too. We just speaking in a different language than the moon or than the wolf itself. But consciousness has always been in operation. Consciousness is moving things back and forth. It is always in operation already. Anyway, let me see how many more minutes I got. I got solid 3 minutes. You feel me? So that's what consciousness is. A spirit. You could call it a mechanism. You could call it whatever you want to call it. But it is something that has always existed already. It's been in existence. It will always be in existence. It was here before we got here as wolves. It is operating without our knowledge, because it does not need our knowledge. The moon does not need the knowledge of the wolf, but the wolf will use the moon to basically travel. Yeah, it does do that. So we use consciousness to think, to be aware of things. We use it to move around. It's the same thing, kind of traveling. You feel me? We're nothing more than a wolf trying to understand something that's bigger than us. And when we get so close to consciousness, let's say we got lucky, just like a wolf, and a wolf got into a spaceship with Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, and he got so close to the moon, it will realize that the thing that it seeks is bigger than him himself. He can't even come to the realization to even understand what he's looking at. He's like, oh, what the what? You feel me? Because when we get so close to consciousness, we're going to realize how big it is, that it's unimaginable for us to even understand it, because it's so bigger than what we think it is. Because right now, all we see is something small, but yet we see it in a massive way. But it's much bigger than how we see it. Just like the moon. The moon is looking up in the sky thinking that it's that size. No, it's not. But when you get closer to it, you realize that this shit is bigger than what it is. And that's how consciousness is. The problem is bigger than what it is. It's harder to solve than what it thinks it is. And we can get to sing and holler at it and think that we gonna get the bitch, but we ain't gonna get that bitch. Feel me? It's the moon. The moon gonna show off his ass. You know what I mean? And consciousness is also gonna show off his ass. Of course he is. He's his consciousness. Now he's bigger than you. It looks like he's showing off his ass because you can't get it right. Because you think. You think. You think. You know, sometimes people take things personal because somebody's greater than them. So they be like, oh, he think he's all that. No, that's what you think. Because you feel offended that you can't compare. So you will feel offended thinking somebody was all that, but it wasn't the person. It was actually something that you felt within. And that's how we're going to see consciousness. We're going to feel offended by what we actually find out of any great thing. But eventually you accept it and move on. And that's what the wolf does. The wolf hollers so much to the point where it get exhausted and move on. Then the idiot come back the same day and try to solve the moon theory again. Try to hug it from the ground. Make love to it. Sing it to it. You heard? I gotta go. This is my little theory. You feel me? They're throwing theories out there. I'm like, why not? Why do I have to go to a school and let somebody take my theory? Feel me? Let me give it to them. Let me do my theory too. Feel me? Let me give them my theory and see what they say about that. Right? You ain't gotta wait on some white guy to say that. You can say something. You can think out your mind yourself. You feel me? If you know the answer to something, then what's the point? It's solved already. Let's go to something that we don't know the answer to. Let's go to something that somebody said that does not make sense. That's something we ought to explore. That's more of a challenge. There's something that we know already. So yes, we like the wolf and the moon. Yeah, you trying to tackle problems that's bigger than us. It sounds insane, but we gonna try it. Yeah, all we got is our mouth right now. We don't even have the claws, but we still gonna try it. Anyway, I gotta go, man.